We're talking about experiences they've had on set. Like one lady said that she was on set and she'd got the role, but when the director saw her, he absolutely was like, he literally said to her, absolutely not. He said, no, who hired this dark girl? I don't want her. No. Bring this yellow girl. Meanwhile, that girl was hired to be an extra. So bring this yellow girl. She will favor the camera more.
Welcome to today's episode of the amazing, spectacular, superlative podcast, Inkblot Meet and Greet. Starring Damola Ademola, Zulumoke Oyibo, and Chinaza Onuzo, and featuring
Jazz hands.
Yes. So that was we are doing a 60s sitcom intro because, you know, you have to keep it fresh, you know.
In the 60s, fresh. In 2022.
Retro is in now. What are you talking about?
Indeed it is.
We're actually doing this.
We're finally doing this.
New podcast. Have a baby, they said. My name is Ibrahim. This is
Linda Ejiofor Suleiman.
Ibrahim. So
I think that's why we're doing it, right?
yeah. Because people do not tell us things.
Yes, this is us calling out our friends who have had kids and did not tell us and say, hey,
Watch out
look
for
at
this.
what you are going to go through.
That's my son is an old man.
He said I was going to be the one that would do the
spanking.
spanking and you would be the one that would
Dialogue.
talk to him. But he was born.
And your move button was pushed.
New parent. The same way it's new to us, it's new to the toddler. Let's all grow together.
Beverly Naya needs no introduction.
No,
But
let's
let us introduce her. She's an actor. Mm-hmm. She's a host. Mm-hmm. She's a fashion mogul. Mm-hmm. She's a producer. Mm-hmm. She's a writer. Mm-hmm. Are you not a writer?
I don't think I'm a writer.
Okay, she's no longer a writer. We have taken
When
that
have
back.
I been a writer?
I thought you wrote. Okay, but the documentary is not really writing.
Well,
so
yeah.
So
she's a documentary.
because they have scripts now.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we did write the scripts.
And
yeah.
you don't give
But
yourself the writer credit.
I did.
So I don't understand.
So there you go.
She's an
There
award
we go.
winner.
Yes.
I mean, so I don't understand what's going on. In fact, I'm not doing it again. I quit.
Can we put documentarian in there?
That's filmmaker now.
Yeah.
And what's it? You make documentaries?
No.
Are you a filmmaker?
Yes. Wow. So I feel attacked right now. So anyway, Beverly Naya's here.
Thank you for the lovely introduction, and it feels good to be here. Been a long time coming.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be on Inkblot Meet and Greet, which is clearly the most important thing you have done in your life?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, good energy, good vibes. I'm loving the energy here. So yeah, it feels great.
That's why people don't come on our show.
Ah,
That's why people don't come on our show. When you come and you not tell them something like that.
No, but don't you
Somebody
want...
that we should be ready to help us plug us.
Actually, I thought about it. If you want to say that I'll show you the everything of your career, then technically you have failed,
You have
right?
failed the level. If this is the best you've done, Mr. Man.
Yes. Okay, so... So talk to us about Beverly Naya before she moved back.
I mean, just a London girl now. Like I mean, school, then university. I was studying filmmaking.
I'm sorry to cut, but
Sure.
there's so few of you who actually went to school to study filmmaking.
Yeah, I had to reach a middle ground with my parents my mum, because, you know, like I wanted to go to RADA, which is an acting school in the UK, but my mum felt like I needed a backup plan. She was like, look, I don't think that's a good idea. Go to university, study something else, because if acting doesn't work out, you need something else to fall back on. So the compromise was, okay, fine, I'm gonna study filmmaking.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up studying filmmaking. And I mean, I'm glad I did. I am kind of using my degree now indirectly. But in university, it was just a lot of technical stuff, like a lot of writing, a lot of theory. So it wasn't really that fun for me.
I have a question.
So was it digital or film back then?
Film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. So you went to
makes you
school
sound
to study. You went to study film. You went to school to study film.
Yeah.
And then you've been on a Nigerian set.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast.
Ooh. When I first joined the industry, like it was a massive culture shock for me because the difference was like too glaring in comparison to what I was used to. For example, you know, like to shoot a whole film in Nigeria, then you're looking at like 7 days. In the UK, you're gonna shoot a short film in the same space amount of time. So that was like really weird for me. And then just kind of like, I joined the industry in like 2011 officially. Do you understand? And
Wait, stop there. What does officially mean? So you are dabbling from...
No, because prior to that, I was like still in university.
Okay.
So like, let's say Christmas, summer, I'd fly to Nigeria, shoot one film, go back to uni.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? So I hadn't fully relocated until I graduated.
Got it.
Yeah, so my career didn't really officially start until I moved.
So how did they discover you that you are randomly chilling in England and you come in to make a movie?
No, so my mom had moved back before I did.
Okay.
So so remember I said to you that she was worried that because I was a full-time actor, I would just graduate and I'll be suffering in London, not doing anything.
Okay.
So of course she moved back to Nigeria because she'd already retired. So she was like, you know, this is where I want to live. But because of her fears, she was like, let me at least try and build some contacts with my daughter. So that when she comes, she has a fallback plan that, you know, and she won't just be struggling
Hungry,
to
starving
hopefully
artist.
make it, you know? So yeah, that was basically the path that she created for me. And it was very helpful and instrumental as well, because when I moved to Nigeria, I'd already built some contacts, you know, outside of the films I had starred in. There were other directors that I, you know, had made friends with, and I had the opportunity to work with them. And yeah, it's been history. The rest is history, as they say.
So what's your very first role here?
It's the film that was my mum produced for me.
Oh.
Like I said, it was just an incentive
real
to get me
MVP.
back because I didn't have any plans of moving to. Well, I kind of did, but I wasn't sure. I thought I may just stay in England and then just see what happens. But because of the foundation I had built, or we had built for my career here, it was a no-brainer. So we produced a film called Home in Exile, directed by Lancelot Emaswen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was basically my first film.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that how you
that-
entered the Royal Arts?
Yes, and
Okay.
then my second film was Guilty Pleasures.
No, don't worry, it's fine.
Guilty Pleasures, yes.
That's
by
the one
Emma
with,
Issel.
was that the one with Majid?
Inse and Majid,
Majid, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So that was actually, I think it was Inse's breakout film because that film did amazingly well for her career and everyone in it, to be honest, and Majid, yeah, so.
I think that was a follow-up to Reloaded.
Yes, I don't know, one of them, was
No, it was
definitely
Reloaded and then Guilty Pleasures. It was like a
Pleasures,
one-two.
bang,
one-two
bang.
punch,
It was like, yo, who is this woman? Like, I remember everyone was like captivated at the time, and they still
So
are.
that's because so that means you started in the DVD era.
DVD era.
Yeah, exactly. Like straight to DVD.
No, I'm just over here stunning your mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
my mom's a queen.
I
No,
Yeah,
because
like the real
seriously,
MVP.
because a lot
She's
of
my
people,
biggest supporter.
she knows that you wanted to be an actress,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of actresses come in, they do the whole Surulere route, you know, hustle extra, and then get to
Yeah.
the... But she knew that it would be... She had the ability to give you a platform,
Yeah.
where she could produce something that you would star in and people would just see what you can do.
Exactly.
And then go... That's...
Exactly.
No Waka Pass role.
I don't know if this is coming out around Mother's Day, but yeah,
It
Mother's...
is actually, yeah.
Mother's-
Actually, wait, how would I know?
She's like, put my episode next, goddamn.
Look, I tell you the truth. There's always one Mother's Day, so believe me, we'll be close enough.
No,
We'll be close
there are
enough.
only two
Don't release
Mother's
it next
Days.
year. Do
No,
not release it
no.
next year. And don't release it on the American Mother's Day.
We should release
Because
it
she's
on the-
British.
Because
but
she's
British.
British, but British Mother's Day is next week in real time,
okay.
2 weeks away from. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
See, I've already said it. There's one Mother's Day close by. Zulu raised something just now, and I want to go to it.
The accent.
Yes. So, how do you feel about? I don't know. Do you feel sometimes that you get typecasted because of your accent?
So to be honest, I've played a variety of roles. And I always say that unfortunately, I'm not in control of what comes out. Do you get? Like, I've played a Nigerian girl, like played a woman with a Nigerian accent. I've played, there was a film where I played a schizophrenic person. Do you understand? So from my perspective, no, you know. But unfortunately, a lot of these films just never got released.
Did the one where you
know?
played a bread seller or whatever come out? Or a roadside seller?
I think it wasn't a roadside seller. She was schizophrenic. I know the character you're talking about. So we shot that in Abeokuta. And that character literally took so much out of me. Do you get what I mean? And I was really excited for that film to come out because of, as you just highlighted, like it was going to be a film that would show me in a completely different light. Unfortunately, it didn't get released till today. Shiju. You know, so
that's the title of the movie?
Yeah, like it can be really frustrating. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine just yesterday, and I was saying like it's really annoying because there are films that show like versatility, show range, show a different accent, but if it's a low budget film or if the producer unfortunately doesn't have a strong enough strategy for their film, it just may never get released. It's happened to me so many times.
But there's something you said that, you know, you asked her if she was typecast, but you know that before the whole wedding party sex pot, people already cast, like, that was not Beverly.
100%. Can I give you a high five?
It wasn't. Like, it was,
100%.
that's
because it was the biggest thing.
So
Right?
that's the biggest thing, so you get typecast.
Like Nas literally just hit the nail on the head. Like, and why that's, to add to that, it's like when the wedding party came out, you know, it was a massive film. Come on. I mean, it's the second highest grossing film of all time. At the time, it was the highest grossing, yeah?
Yes, we are very happy for you, Funke.
I know, right? So like, and in so many ways, even though I was established at the time because, you know, Tinsel, I was on Tinsel and there were other films that I was known for, Wedding Party was very influential. Do you get what I mean? Like it did definitely do a lot of things for my career. But then what came with that was a typecast thing. Do you understand? And that whole idea that that's all I play. Now, the reason why it's interesting that you brought that up is because around the same time, like there were other films that came out that were a lot smaller than this film, but they just didn't do as well. There was one that came out called, I don't know, my brain is freezing today, but there was one with OC that unfortunately went straight to Iroko TV.
No arbitration.
No. Did you go to Iroko TV?
It's not in my head. I mean, it was me and OC.
No, I know the film you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember the film.
It came out around the same time, you know, but obviously if it goes straight to a streaming platform, like not many people get to see it. And in that film, I was like, I mean, a woman that was being physically abused by her husband. So it was like a domestic abuse
I know
film.
the one you were talking about. I remember the poster.
Yeah.
But no, I can never be one to remember the name.
Like I'm just not in control of these things. Then you have another example, you have Skinny Girl in Transit. You know, huge on YouTube. Again, like a lot of people have seen it. So you've seen, I mean, Wedding Party, highest grossing, you've now got this one on YouTube that gets like 1 million views per episode. Of course, you're gonna automatically assume that that's all I play. You know, because these smaller films, unfortunately, do not do as well. Or
Guys, there's
get
more
the
to
reach.
Beverly Naya.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, like I'm not even trying to toot my own horn. Like,
but you actually have, you actually do have evidence because you have those films prior to Wedding Party, even after Wedding Party, just
so let me ask you the question that actors that complicates actors as they become stars. How, in terms of audience reception, what do you think the audience wants to see you as? Because that's also sometimes
that's
a
true. I mean, they do definitely love it when I play the bitchy role. Like they love. I mean, but then they also appreciate when I play a downtrodden role as well. You know, especially if it's done well. Like they're always going to appreciate it. So
I think you also give them what you want to give them and they will take it.
Yeah, exactly. If it's done well. If it's done well, do you understand?
So, I mean, if it's done well, it can basically reframe the narrative concerning an actor.
So actors
for example,
can
Angelina Jolie was always known as this sex goddess on screen, sexy woman, do you understand? Until she did Changeling.
Yeah.
She changed the game completely.
No, but remember how she started.
Yeah.
She started off with that edgy, but then her first action roles were sexy action.
Yes, of course.
So you can complicate your narrative as you are going and keep changing it because nobody is one thing. But what the audience, it's a weird trap, right? It's the whole thing like when it is not actor, there's the whole difference between actor and star. Star is not. So the joke is like Ryan Reynolds as an actor may have range, but nobody's range. Yes, range. So he may have range, but Ryan Reynolds, the star, is one person.
He's
in every movie.
This is actually valid because you know, like it's a business at the end of the day, and I do run my career like a business. You understand? Like the brand is a business as far as I'm concerned. So there are certain times I've made choices just because I know how far the film will go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with whether I truly like it. Ooh.
But they're So that is the thing about. I mean, it's so funny. Like people ask Alec Guinness why he took Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he said
I have to pay the mortgage.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of his most famous roles. He wrote to his friend that this script is shit. I don't know what is going on. This is going to fail.
So
like
not that bad.
No, I know, but
for
I'm saying.
me,
So what I'm saying is like, and then over time, he could never understand why there were lines around the block to see the film. But he then came to terms with it over time. There was Michael Caine Michael Caine used to call his roles by what they bought him, or this paid for the house in France, and that and the other.
So in our industry, it's not to pay the bills.
So what is it to do?
It's to man, it's a trade secret. Never mind.
It's to keep you.
Is it to enhance the brand?
So sometimes to enhance the brand is to keep you relevant.
Keep you relevant.
But that's paying the bills now because
that's not paying the bills.
It's a second order. It's a second order effect.
It's a second order effect.
Cool.
Unlike
you don't. If it's not first order, then why is that?
No. Okay, so for example,
we're both right.
So for example, right?
That's why they said they keep doing it. It's the strategy of it all.
Sometimes you looked at it like with some people. So you've got some people who are in music who've translated into film. Because music might not give you as much visibility as film that goes to cinema. And as a result of you now being in cinema, you can now get like an endorsement, so things like that. So you have to look at...
But that was before the streaming boom.
But you have to walk the system in such a way.
But even then, it's even better now.
One of the things we like about people is that they decide to make their own tables. And you made yourself a very interesting table. And that was the documentary Skin that you have won multiple awards for, and has been showcased all over the world.
And that I want to actually say thank you for doing, because it's so topical.
Thank you for representing us black people.
No. Because literally, like, a lot of people were damaging themselves over this thing just because, you know, the narrative out there was, if you aren't lighter skinned, if you aren't yellow, you know, you don't get rich men. You don't get good jobs. No, seriously.
No, so it's the light skin privilege of it all. Just put it in a bowl.
So what inspired it?
Okay, so I was just very passionate about the topic, you know, and I still am very much passionate about it. And I mean, considering how many women in our society bleach their skin, all because they want to be seen as more desirable, because they don't feel like having dark skin is beautiful. I mean, 77% of Nigerian women bleach their skin, according to the WHO. You know, so understanding the facts and
bloody high, man.
And just realizing that a lot of people in our society do not actually have a clear understanding of what colorism is and why it exists in our society. So kind of just creating awareness and allowing people to kind of learn about colorism and just see it, you know, was the main motivation for the documentary. It started as a campaign in 2014, and that campaign was ongoing for many years before I finally decided to produce a documentary. So that's how Skin was birthed. And I mean, it's always like surreal to me and incredible, you know, when I think about how far Skin has gone and how many people have been inspired by it and how many opportunities I get because of it till today, you know? It's always quite humbling.
How long did that take to shoot?
To shoot, we shot for, I think 8 days. Yeah, so we shot about 8 days.
So basically, it was just the talking head segments, or
the whole thing, the whole thing, yeah.
Even the travel, all of it.
Yeah, all of it, all of it. Like 8 to 9 days.
I thought it was separate. I thought the other things. Okay.
No, we did everything. I think it was like 8 to 9 days.
So what? So like, I guess.
Well, wait, there's part 2 coming out. Part 2. Yeah, so a sequel to the documentary.
Is it part of the streaming invasion, or is it self-funded?
Streaming invasion.
Yes, now. The streaming invasion.
What a question.
Yes, now.
I can't answer it, though.
Okay. Our lawyers, you know, she pleads the fifth.
You're Sherlock. You Sherlock Holmes. You Sherlock Holmes. They have answered the question for you. Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations.
Wow, I haven't said a thing, guys.
Congratulations.
Let's just carry on.
You know, silence is consent.
Wow, Damola.
Wow. Oh, God.
Sorry, I know how that sounds, but it's not what you think.
No, of course I put it that because that was unbelievable. I mean, like...
Silence is consent.
Yikes.
Wow.
It's not funny.
Oh.
It's not funny in that context.
That came out so wrong.
Moving on swiftly. Congratulations on the sequel.
Congratulations on producing the sequel project. But I don't, honestly, like, you know, I mean...
575.
I'm just happy to produce it. That's basically it. Like, no, I'm just happy to have produced it. But, you know,
at this point, we'll do dollar rain.
Don't rain it down. Yes. It's
I'm beside her, you know. You touch me.
So I wanted to ask something, and this is something that, because we've argued about this over and over and over again, which is that I believe that when you look at the data, there's colorism in Nollywood, despite the fact that almost no individual decision is primarily driven by colorism. That's because so what it is like a lot of nobody will say I'm hiring this person because they're lighter than each other. Yeah. But then when you look at the decisions in aggregate, clearly that's what's happening.
What's happening? I think that's well articulated.
It's as a result of the culture, right? So the prevailing culture of the country bleeds itself into every sector industry of that in that country.
True.
So if 3 in 4 women are bleaching, partly because they feel that it makes them more desirable, it means that across the various industries,
3
whether
and 4
it is
light-skinned.
So
but I've also heard this thing, even in this industry that, there's some producers and directors that prefer to have light-skinned women as their lead because they feel like dark-skinned women can't sell their film.
So that's the overt. I don't think that. So that's the overt.
That's the overt one.
But it's very rare that you find those overt cigar chomping, yellow, only yellow. It's
basically answer the question. Do you believe light skin or colorism has a part to play in the female leads in most of Nollywood movies? Does it have a part to play? Yes or no? Let's move on.
For me, it's like I'm not even going that far. Like I'm just talking about us in the industry and like for example, you could be on set and someone is like just making remarks or saying stuff that could be seen as offensive just because they feel they can. And because they're ignorant, they're none the wiser. Yeah. You could be on set and they're like, oh my God, she's dark. Man. This light, we can't light you well. It's offensive. So that's really what I'm talking about.
I've actually heard that.
No, I totally agree.
I've heard that.
I totally agree.
Yeah, these statements are offensive. And because we don't have enough conversations on colorism and what it is, people don't realize when they're being offensive or hurtful.
Yeah.
So that's
so there's
the
a
angle that I was coming
defense.
at it from.
But nobody should be doing it now.
On the technical
side. But nobody should have that defense now.
Yes,
because there's even producers, there are people in the recent project that we just finished, the Skin project. We're talking about, they were talking about experiences they've had on set. Like one lady said that she was on set and she'd got the role, but when the director saw her, he absolutely was like, he literally said to her, absolutely not. He said, no, who hired this dark girl? I don't want her.
No.
Bring this yellow girl. Meanwhile, that girl was hired to be an extra. So bring this yellow girl. She will favor the camera more. Do you get? So it's just, we're not having real conversations. People don't understand what colorism is and how hurtful these statements are.
And it's also
there were
because
25 people on that set.
So I read somewhere that you have a joint venture deal with Outbound Studios, and then you guys are going to be producing a shitload of content.
Yeah.
So
we've done Skin. We've already done.
Oh, that's under the
That's under Skin.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should expect?
Yes.
Documentaries or film?
Exclusive. This is where we just write exclusive.
But you said you read it somewhere.
I read it somewhere, but they didn't reveal what it was. Just said whatever, that they were going to be developed, that they were going to be creating content.
So we haven't done this in a while. So what type of films do you want to make?
Yeah, I just want to make films that inspire me, films that are just...
You're not a politician. What type of films do you want to make?
Stop that. Films that inspire me.
For example.
Films I don't
know.
Oh, God. Let me think. But just basically films that,
For example.
that will just...
So if you could buy the rights to something to make, what would it be?
We've already done that. I'm just kidding. No, we haven't talked. No. Wait, no. If I was to buy the rights to something, that's a really good question. I can't think.
That's what we do at the podcast.
Let me see. I want to create films that have the capacity to go worldwide. That are challenging, innovative, just great films, films that we currently have in the industry.
So do you want to make action, horror,
dramas? I want more dramas, more.
So what type of dramas? Is it like a biopic, inspirational type biopic?
Now we're just reading things at you right now. So
is it like a serious or like a pure goofy rom-com? 10 Days and Boys?
Serious dramas, definitely serious dramas.
Okay.
Stories that kind of showcase Nigeria in the light that, we're not used to be.
What kind of stories do you gravitate towards?
Normally?
Yes.
Hey, God, these questions.
Sounds like a notebook type of girl.
No.
Hey,
yeah.
So what's the serious drama?
Films that are just too slow. Like City of God. That's one of my favorite films of all time.
Okay.
Titanic is number one. Of course, we cannot produce Titanic yet.
No, you can. You can. It will be a small boat. You guys will be stuck on the lagoon.
Lagoon or swimming pool. Oh, wow.
Okay.
You guys are finishing me here. I can't even deal. A small boat on the lagoon.
And then you jump out.
With 2 passengers.
With 2 passengers. No. But there was this movie that I saw.
But you have to make sure it's Mami Water that capsizes the boat.
I'd like to thank you all for tuning into this show.
It's only for your ears.
Naz has basically put us in penury. as the result of what you have said. Thank you so much. Beverly, you've been an awesome guest. Even
though
you've
guys
stayed
have
with
spoken
us.
too much.
You've stayed with us
Much
through
more than
thick
she
and
has.
thin in this episode. I want you to come back. Would love to work with you again. In fact, which was why we're asking about what project would you like, because you know.
But I mean, Nas knows. He knows. Like something that's like, in the drama genre.
Talk to me.
Something that challenges me as an actor. That's really where I'm at right now. And then because I know that with you guys, it's like a short banker. You guys have a strategy that makes sense. It's not let me shoot film and keep it for 2 to 5 years.
The film will come out. If edited, the film will come out.
Exactly, it will come out. So like. That's what I'm waiting for now. It's like I definitely want to work with you guys.
Cool.
It's a no-brainer.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're looking forward to it. What do you think about action?
And she said she's looking for drama.
Okay, I'm just
Drama
asking.
/ thriller, like something that just challenges me. That's basically it. Not physically.
Not physically.
So what you're saying
but
is you don't really like action.
Emotionally. I've done several. They just haven't come out.
Okay.
So I'm tired.
Please, you people should release Beverly's action movie. We want to see. Thank you. God bless you. Peace and love.
Bye, guys.
Beverly should
What do you guys want to say?
Zulu, help Zulu get to 5,000 subscribers or followers.
When is 2 coming out? You can't tell us when.
Definitely this year.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely
Awesome.
this year.
Okay, and buy her Benaya.
Yes, my
the
clothing
Benaya
line,
brand.
Benaya. You can find the website is benayaofficial.com. The Instagram is benaya_official. We have a new collection coming out. So yeah, great things
Awesome.
happening.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you guys for
And follow Zulu ZVLU. Correct.
She didn't got it wrong. CVLV.
Follow Zulusha.
ZVLV.
That's
Follow
that.
me, guys.
Operation 5,000 by 2024.
5,000K. Please. I aim for higher things.
1 million.
Yay!
Let's go.
Bye, my peoples.
Bye. Bye.
Hello, everyone. I know a lot of you have questions about Nollywood, and I've seen it in our comment sections. Going forward, we'll be having a segment that basically addresses these questions called Inkblot Answers. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on Twitter, on Instagram, or even on our YouTube channel at Inkblot Presents, and we'll be taking your questions going forward. Look forward to hearing from you.